First, follow our page to receive all the latest true and mysterious stories that shake minds and leave an impact on souls. Dwarves from the Otherworld, a true story stranger than fiction. I am not writing these lines for entertainment or to pass the time, nor do I aim to incite fear in your hearts for no reason. Rather, I am writing them because I believe that what I went through is not just an illusion or a teenage fantasy, but a real experience with all its details. It happened to me and my two friends in 2012, and it remained etched in my memory for many years. Just a week ago, I dreamt about it again, as if it was being replayed before me, scene by scene, the same voices, the same panic, the same faces frozen in terror. Here, I decided to recount it as it happened, as a testament to the fact that there are things in this world that are invisible to the naked eye, except to those destined to witness them, and secrets that lurk behind the veil of the unseen, of which we know only a little. That year, I was a teenager, about 16 years old, living a simple life in one of the neighborhoods of our old city. It was a working-class neighborhood with closely packed houses, narrow alleys, and streets filled with children's laughter and football games. On a typical summer evening, two of my close friends and I gathered to play soccer in the middle of the neighborhood. The ball was old, but we considered it a treasure, taking turns kicking it enthusiastically. While we were engrossed in the game, a speeding car passed by on the narrow road, crushing the ball under its wheels and exploding with a muffled sound that left us both shocked. We stood looking at each other in disbelief until one of my friends said, "Come with me, I'll fetch a ball from my house. My house is close, behind this abandoned cemetery." I hesitated a bit, as the place he pointed to wasn't a comfortable one. It was an old, abandoned cemetery with cracked walls, leaning tombstones, and dry weeds covering every corner. But we were young and eager to continue playing, so we agreed and walked with him. The road leading to my friend's house ran alongside the cemetery on one side, and on the other side was a spacious courtyard with sheep. In the middle was a narrow path leading to the door of his house. I walked beside him as night began to creep in, and the air felt unusually cold. At that moment, I felt something unnatural hovering over the place.
I turned to my friend beside me, and his eyes were wide open, staring toward the pen filled with sheep. His features trembled, and he looked utterly panicked. I turned with him automatically, and there I saw something unimaginable. Amid the flock of sheep stood two strange creatures, dwarves about as tall as sheep, with thin, deformed bodies, small arms like those of a kangaroo, and stubby legs. They were standing on their feet, twirling around in strange, jerky movements as if performing some incomprehensible ritual. Their skin was dark and gray, and their faces were almost featureless. Just looking at them sent a chill through my veins like an electric current. In a few seconds, we saw them suddenly stop circling, turn to us for a moment, and then, with a movement resembling a dream, plunge into the ground. Yes, they entered the bowels of the earth right before our eyes and disappeared as if they had never existed. We saw no hole, we heard no crash, nothing remained except the terrified sheep running around the courtyard. At that moment, all we could think about was running away. We left our shoes where they were and ran with all our might in the opposite direction, screaming at the top of our lungs. It wasn't an ordinary scream, but the scream of someone who has seen something beyond their comprehension. While we were in the middle of the road, one of the neighborhood elders, an elderly man we all knew, stopped us. He was standing on the side of the road when he heard our screams. He stopped us saying, "What's wrong, boys? What's happening?" We were trembling and stumbling, but we tried to tell him what we had seen. We saw dwarves, Uncle. Strange dwarves among the sheep. They went underground right in front of us.
The sheikh didn't seem as surprised as we had expected. Instead, he sighed and said calmly, "These are the jinn demons you hear about. Dwarves who live underground, among the ruins, and in deserted places. You are young, and God has opened your eyes to see what others cannot." We couldn't believe our ears. How could what we had seen be real? We expected him to lie or laugh at us, but he solemnly assured us that what we had seen was real. Our fear increased, and we ran home without looking back. That night, I couldn't sleep. I sat in my room for a whole week, not leaving. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw the same scene over and over again. The dwarves circling, sinking into the ground and disappearing. Even my dreams turned into nightmares. I would wake up terrified, screaming for no reason. As for my friend, who was the most terrifying of us, he entered a complex psychological state. He began to daydream a lot, staring into space, then saying he saw strange things that no one else could. His family had to take him to sheiks for ruqya, or Islamic exorcism. After a while, his condition improved somewhat, but to this day, he continues to experience strange moments, as if something had remained inside him since that incident. The strange thing was that the next day, we tried to lie to ourselves. We convinced ourselves that we were hallucinating, that what we had seen was just a figment of the adolescent imagination. But the sheikh's words never left our minds. They are jinn, dwarves who live underground. These words have stuck in my head to this day. Years passed. I grew up, entered university, then work. But the image of those creatures never left me. Sometimes when I walk at night near deserted places, I imagine I see short, fast-moving shadows. Sometimes I hear muffled sounds like small laughter, and I hurry up without looking back. Today, 8 years after the incident, I dreamt it again with the same details, as if it wasn't just a memory, but a message reminding me that what I had seen was not an illusion.
As I grew older and began reading books on heritage, jinn, and the hidden worlds, I found many references to small jinn living underground, among ruins and graveyards. They are called dwarves or little goblins. Some researchers have stated that they are among the most dangerous types of jinn because they sneak around stealthily and rarely appear to humans.
Some believe that the fleeting shadows or dwarf figures we sometimes see in dreams or nightmares are merely a reflection of their presence among us. But the question that always haunts me is, why did they appear to just the 3 of us that day? Was it a deliberate choice on their part? Or was our presence next to the ancient cemetery what momentarily lifted the veil between us and them? These are questions without clear answers, but I believe what happened was real. It's a true story. I don't exaggerate or add a touch of fantasy. I tell it exactly as it happened to me. I leave it to you to decide whether to believe it or dismiss it as impossible. But I know full well that there is another world parallel to ours, inhabited by creatures about whom we know nothing except what is mentioned in the Quran and Sunnah, and what some people witness in exceptional moments. Was I lucky to see them? Or was I cursed that my eyes saw what should have remained hidden? I don't know, but I do know one thing. The world around us is not as we see it, and that behind closed doors, ruins, and graves lie terrifying secrets known only to God. If you find the story exciting and terrifying, don't be stingy by sharing it with your friends, as someone might have gone through similar experiences and find themselves resonating with them.